Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes for ourselves to understand how this meditation will help for us, and at the same time, how to practice meditation. Because that is very important. Day by day, even though we have so much information, when it comes to ourselves, sometimes people misunderstand, or sometimes they didn't get it properly. Because when it comes to this Buddhist meditation, we have mainly two mental cultures or two methods. So one is called Samatha mental culture, and another one called the Vipassana mental culture. So the mental culture means development of your mind, how you cultivate your mind. So when it comes to Samatha mental culture, that means you develop the tranquility state of your mind. This means you develop undisturbed mind. Get out of this lot of thoughts, or another way, getting out of this monkey mind, and you develop kind of like a way to concentrate yourself whenever necessary for you to keep your mind in one place. For today world, it is very necessary. Why? Because more than any other time, we live with a lot of material things, and we live with a lot of gadgetics, machines. So be with that things mindfully is very necessary. Otherwise, you can't get the best out of that moment. So even though that we have so much, the valuable things around us, sometimes we are fail to get things, and sometimes we even don't understand how to use this all the materials and become a better person ourselves. So everybody knows, like when the Neil Armstrong went to moon, he had very limited capacity to communicate with the earth. But today, you and me have more than whatever the Neil Armstrong had when he went to the moon. We have so much things around us to have the communication. and get the information. But still, we are failed to bring the right communication, right information. More than any other time, everybody knows, more than any other time, we are getting more invaluable informations, unnecessary informations. So then it is very important for you to get, because of this conventional life, in this ordinary lifestyle, sometimes we build up the disturb. So that's why it is your responsibility to build up undisturbed mind. So for that, you have to have a kind of like a discipline, but otherwise, with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, with our whole life from morning to night, and even our sleep is kind of like an intoxicated sleep with the desires, the wanting, and other people say, you need to this, you need that to make your life happen. And we start to keep running behind that things, and we don't understand that we have a life. So tranquility meditation means you slowly, it will take you out of this comparison or this always kind of like go behind something, or you always become a debtor to something. So tranquility mind will slowly take you out of that. So it is very necessary, each and every person, every day, finding your inner balance. Once you have it, the very next step. So before we go to the next step, so how we can develop this tranquility state? So we get a primary mental object, and then rather than bringing our logical thinking, comparison mindset, we just simply observe without disturbing and get into this very natural state of the mind. So when it comes to that, it is very important to keep and allow your body to be relaxed. Let your body to be itself. So, and at the same time, you have to be very careful. You have to see, because if you become too loose, too relaxed, sometimes it makes you sleepy. So then you have to know, rather without making too tight yourself, and in the middle way, keep your body relaxed. So that is the first step. And from there, the second step, before we go into primary mental object, first you have to see it very clearly. So then you go to the, like when you play the baseball or the cricket or the soccer, tennis, before you hit the ball, you have to see the ball. So otherwise, that maybe you will hit, maybe, you can hit the ball, but you don't know how it happened. It's not going to become a skill. So then before you hit, you have to see the ball. So like that, the very next step is seeing the primary mental object, recognizing it very clearly. So when it comes to that, our master technique is observing inhalation, exhalation. So first you have to see it properly before you go into meditation. And when it comes to that, sometimes suddenly you can't recognize your inhalation, exhalation. So then what you need to do, adjust your posture a little bit. And sometimes move your upper body back and forth, or maybe your head a little bit up and down, and find the right place that where you can feel the sensation. So now That is the second. So when it comes to that, the third step, now your body is okay, relaxed, comfortable, not too loosey, not too tight. Second one, the primary mental object. Now you know it's in front of the inhalation, exhalation, in front of your nose and upper lip area. Now you recognize it. The third one, one of them, this all is very important. So the third one, the very condition of the mind. So that also very necessary. The observer. Because that always, sometimes we see things with the subject point of view. We see from kind of like us inside. We have a voice inside. We go with that voice. So your mind, the observer, the body, primary mental object, the observer, if you're listening to that inside voice, always, you keep go with that, then your practice not going to work. So this is a very important place, because most of time, people practice meditation to have a conversation with their own inside that voice. Blah, 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 blah. Always. You don't go with the primary mental. Even you see the primary mental object, you never disconnect from that inside voice. So that is why it is very difficult to get the result. So those are the three steps. Then the very beginning, you have to get into tranquility state. You have to be very clear. So then shut down that inner voice. Don't go with it. And you maybe suddenly you can't do it, but you have to have an intention not to listen to that. So that's why you get the primary mental object. So rather than go with that voice, you start to first come to the sensation and be with the sensation. So when it comes to that, you should not go with your judgment. You should not have any comparison, and you should not come with any idea or breath should be like this, like that, or kind of like that. So you completely allow your inhalation, exhalations happens naturally. And when it happens, you observe and recognize what is happening within the sensation, not to listen to inner voice. So if you can do that, what happens with these three steps, you are entering to tranquility state. So that will help for you to slowly settle down. And maybe suddenly the inner voice come, different ideas come, but you don't go with it. If you go with it, you come back and settle down with the primary mental object. So by the time what happens, you are more capable to see this sensation, and it becomes very visible for you, clear for you, sharp. And then whatever you see as inhalation or exhalation, you should not be there. Just keep watching. It doesn't make any sense. So then out of the sensation, you have to sharp and make clear your recognition, your awareness, because whatever the sensation arises here, it's not the sensation that you see later. Your mind is not sharp. That's why on the surface level, you feel it is very rough. So when the mind becomes sharp, what happens? You are capable to see more details with your own inhalation, exhalation. Some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. So many different. And each and every inhalation, exhalation has its own character, its unique behavior. So then whatever the inhalation is totally different than the exhalation, two different nature. Each and every moment, And even from the beginning, the middle, end, it's totally different. So then what you recognize out of this sensation, you not hold it as something. You start to recognize it, you experience things as a result of process. So this is the breakthrough, that you go from tranquility state to vipassana level. Because in the beginning, we take something as inhalation, as exhalation. The beginning, the middle, the end, heat, cold, long, short, heavy. So we take things. That's how the mind recognizes. But later, you start to experience this everything as a result of something. And then you release the idea of things. Then there is no such a thing called inhalation. Because now you see the beginning, the middle, end. And so then if you see the inhalation separately as inhalation, what you going to mention as inhalation? And also by the time this inhalation become different and the next inhalation become different, so which inhalation you get as the inhalation? So like that. By observing, you recognize that what we experience is not a thing, it is a process. As a result of many events, we experience something, that what we experience, we take as something and then we put a name on it. So once you see this, it is just not now that you recognize within your inhalation, exhalation. Now it become a wisdom. See, now you see something, you recognize in the depth of your life what is happening, how it happens. So then once it become a wisdom, once you come out of the meditation in day-to-day life, that whatever you experience, naturally you start to see with that wisdom you experience through the meditation. So that's how your meditation will help for your day-to-day life. And that is what we need. Otherwise, this is not about 24/7, you sit and close your eyes and practice meditation. It's not going to work for you. And it is not something you listen to me and you believe that. That also doesn't work. So then through practice yourself, what you experience become your life. So then now you have undisturbed mind, and at the same time it tranquilizes and it doesn't go here and there. And at the same time you start to see very clearly your own experience. And now you go to the vipassana level. So when it comes to vipassana level means that the most of time people say vipassana, 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 but they don't know what it is. So vipassana means vipassana. So the passana means seeing, watching or experiencing. Vi means thoroughly, deeply, vigorously, and without related to any method, pattern or idea or thought. You are capable to experience or see or recognize what? Your own form, feeling, perception, volition, and recognition. That's mean what you experience with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, what you perceive, what that the perception you recognize thoroughly, deeply. So when it comes to that, so even the moment by moment, that what you experience is arising and it's slowly disappearing. And another thing you can see here, rather than that what is happening from outside, that deeper you have mental formation or the preconditioned mind or your own ideas or the thoughts, and related to that, whatever come to you, and you start to change that. So that's why it's a kind of like this. You don't describe what you see. Listen this very carefully and catch it. Okay, learn it. You don't describe what you see. You see what you describe. You don't see what you don't describe what you see what you describe. So you don't see that with your eye, ear, nose, tongue. Seeing means the perception you perceive with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. And whatever really as it is, we don't see. First, we have an interpretation inside us. We have preconditioned mind. We have already idea. We see that idea from this outside world. But when it comes to vipassana level, you recognize this mechanism. You see, oh, whatever that you experience, when it comes to you, you take it the way you want. So then what happens? Then it completely going to become something new. It is not what is happening outside, and it is not what happened to you in the past. So inside you, you mix it both together and you experience completely different thing. Somebody says something, and maybe that person used to be a kind of like an unpleasant person to you. And then now today you heard something, and that unpleasantness that you condition in your mind as a memory, and what you heard in this very moment, you mix it that memory. And then in the moment, you experience completely brand new something related to your own memory that unpleasant. But maybe that person told you totally different thing. So with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, this is what always happens. What we experience inside us start to flip, get mixed with our past experience or the memory or our habitual patterns or the way we want. So one should recognize that what happens now, it is a different kind of wisdom you gain. See that in the beginning, you got a different wisdom. So what is that wisdom you got? On the surface level, whatever you see, it's different. And we take this everything as things, but there is no such a thing called as things. We have experience things as a result of lot of events. And now in the vipassana level, we experience with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, whatever we perceive, this perception and mental formations mix together and we experience something else. So then in day-to-day life, you start to apply it to your lifestyle. How you apply it? Because you know when you experience something, then you know that whatever you experience is not that happen outside. So then you more and more start to watch your own inside mechanism. And you clean it, you don't allow that mental formations or the cankers or the memory to get influenced to this new moment of experience. So in that way, what will happen by the time, if you are capable to expand that duration to keep the new information as it is, and you are going to experience something brand new. So that brand new doesn't mean it just drop into yourself from nowhere. No, it is the power of mind. You have that ability to understand things without your past experience. Why you always need the help from the past? Because when you bring the past experience, which past experience you're going to get? Because your past experience is a kind of like a continuation of thoughts. From the birth, you had a continuation of thoughts. As example, regarding maybe the idea about colors. Sometimes as a child, maybe you used to play with toys. That toy, maybe there was a blue color toy, and it was very difficult for you to play with it. But there was a red color toy, and it was so soft and comfortable for you, and then you used to play with very easily. So what happens? By the time these blue color things become unpleasant to you, so that unpleasantness, you build up, little by little. And the red color became so familiar to you, and you became so friendly. So it didn't happen overnight, but by the time that friendliness you build up over time. So then today, you go to a place, there are two people. One person wearing, and that person you never met before. This is the first time you meet. So one person wearing blue color, one person wearing red color. And so maybe you start to feel so comfortable, relaxed, so friendly with that the person who wearing the red color. And for no reason, sometimes you feel, kind of like uncomfortable with the guy that wearing the blue color. Because you depending, the moment you depending from that your past experience, but you don't see it because you became like that. Maybe you're going to buy something. You're going to buy an automobile, you're going to buy a car. And maybe there's a blue car and there's a red car. And maybe you're going to buy something, cloth. So whatever the things that maybe that you're that the past repetition, hold it. So when it comes to the vipassana level, that is where it deeply clean, deep cleaning. So in the tranquility state, it's kind of like, just surface level. You just brush your teeth, okay? And maybe you use mouthwash and brush your teeth. Every day you do it, it is very necessary. That is kind of like a tranquility meditation. But vipassana is kind of like a deep cleaning. It go into the root level, and take everything out. So kind of like that in yourself. Remember that we don't need to deal with these outside things. You already carry within yourself enough drama, situations, and all the difficulties. So before you go into this outside world and start to clean this, be a brand new person to yourself inside. Don't go with your memory, because that doesn't help for you. If it is help for you, it already done to your life. So that's why, but most of time what happened, that inside our that repetition, or that whatever our inner, but the past experience, oh, this is what you need to do. I know everything. This is the solution for this. So like that, you already so comfortable with that inner voice. But that is not capable. That is what the very first thing you have to understand. So you are not capable to get out of this mess with the what you know. You need something new. So if you need something new, the doing same thing, it doesn't bring to you. You have to come to a point to understand you have to do something new to get that new knowledge. That is what vipassana. Because then you become completely free from your own repetition, ideas, thoughts, patterns. You become completely empty person to see yourself. And that is where you're going to experience what is happening and how this happens. And even if anything is not belong to you. So then remember yourself. Once it becomes wisdom to yourself, when situations come, when sad, worry, disappointment, unhappiness come, you recognize it is because of your own inner behavior. So then if you don't want it, what you need to do, don't repeat it. Then you're not going to experience it. But what the mistake we do, we keep repeating inside us as our memory, as our lifestyle, as our thoughts, as our believing system, as our following system, as our consciousness, awareness, as our habitual patterns. We keep repeating the same thing and try to change the outside world. It doesn't work. Maybe for the moment you feel some comfortable, but end of the day, it doesn't work. You go back to the same feelings. So then what you need to do? It's very, it's little bit, you need the effort to get into that, but it is not a rocket science. You have to understand, if you want to experience something new, be a new person. Get out of your point of view. And you have to ask yourself, it is a fair question. You have to ask yourself, if you know this lot of things, we put value on us, of course you have to do that. But the thing is that if you know it, if you have enough wisdom, why you go through this? Then when the situations come, we have to accept ourselves, what we know, not enough to handle this life. So then you have to come to the point to get the new knowledge. That is what called the Dharma. So then when it comes to Dharma, the very first thing, you have to come out of this egocentric, self-centered ideas, and you have to accept the Dharma. So that is why you need the faith. Without faith, without trust regarding the Dharma or the Buddha, you can't do this. So that's why you have to come, because when you have the faith regarding higher source, so that's mean the Buddha or the Dharma or the Sangha, then you can let go what you are hold into so far. That is the faith is important. Because when the faith become, trust becomes stronger, stronger, stronger. What will happen when you start to trust somebody? What will happen? Then maybe when you don't trust anybody, you will keep doing what you want. So, but if you trust someone, and that is where you let go what you hold. And then you surrender to that. So once you have that trust, you start to follow it. That is where the discipline comes. And today that discipline, we say, oh, I don't do this, I don't do that. We have no idea why we come to that point. Maybe because of the fear. Maybe because of the failure. Maybe because of our greediness. We don't want to do things. Because of maybe we have our egocentric mind. And we want to show off sometimes. And deeply we have that the self-centered idea, oh, I'm the best, I want to be the best, or kind of like that. And because of that, maybe you want to be disciplined. It doesn't work end of the day. But once you have the faith regarding the Buddha, Dhamma, or the Sangha, now you know that what you know is not enough for you to get out of this. You have to get something from higher source. So now you surrender. So when you surrender, what will happen? Naturally, you start to follow what the Dharma says. It's come from inside you. It is not outside you here and apply. No, it's coming from inside, deeper, from the bottom of you. It's come from the guts. Once the discipline come from the guts, you safe. It's no, it doesn't matter. Somebody say, oh no, you alone, or you with people, or it say on the book, or you see on the board. No. It's come from the guts. So once it come from the guts, it build up, it come with the character. So that is what called integrity. In the very famous, marketing word, that is what called. It is you. It's your character. It's not something separate from you. So that is what you need. Then you have to. Then you know who you are. Then you know what is your life. Then you know what is your character. What is happening inside you. What is the way you behave. You know yourself. And it brings the deeper confidence to yourself. Then there is no fear. You open to life. You open to anything. In any situation, in anything. You are capable to see the light through the darkness. And that is what you need. So through the vipassana, it takes you in that line. So try to understand yourself, how this path works. Otherwise, it is not like something you close your eyes and something going to hit your head, or some kind of things going to happen, the light going to appear, or many experience going. Maybe things will happen to someone, but by hearing this, you may understand what is the mechanism. So that is what you need to build up little by little, little by little, if you look for the wisdom. So if you know another path, you are most welcome to, go in that path and find it. But if you don't find that, and listen this very carefully again and again and again, and try to see the mechanism, and if it is makes sense to you, give a try. And that way you will see. But your experience will show you what is happening, and then out of that you will change. That change is the result of practice. Your inner behavior, inner voice, inner vision, point of view, you start to change. That is what called you change. That change is the beauty of the Dharma. Because no one can change anybody. Forget, no one can change anyone. No. Don't even try to do that. And don't even hope. Don't give a try to change anybody. It doesn't work. But Dharma, the wisdom, is the only key can open the heart. Not the love. We know that. In the human history, when we look, but as you know, when it comes to love, people have the heart and the key, of course, it brings the transformation to us, but it's wisdom. Wisdom is the right key, can open the heart, yourself, and bring the change. The key with the love, maybe you can keep trying, like when you put the wrong key, you keep trying. So that's what happened everywhere, with the love when you go, premato jayati soko, and end of the day, it become a mess. So it is okay, we have to experience that. But if you have the wisdom key next to that, even you will try a little bit, you bring the next one, it work. That's what you need. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit. So your right palm on your left, neck kept straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Sopateva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens through the sensation, recognize it. And remember to relax your body and be very clear with the primary mental object. And also be aware about the condition of your mind. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward, visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chami sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya Dhamma Nudhamma Patipattiya Buddham Pujemi Dhammam Pujemi Sangham Pujemi Addaya Imaya Patipattiya Jati Jara Vyadhi Maranam Ha Paribunjissami Idamme Punya Kammang Asavakkaya Vahang Hotu Sabba Dukkha Pamunchatu. Bless you.